let's get started. We're launching a national Get Out the Vote effort right now. So I just posted on my social media. It is hashtag Vote Early for Kamala. And so that's up on all social media sites. So right now I've spread it on 10 different sites. Our partners at Demcast are leading the charge in regards to social media sharing. So you can check out their Substack to see if you wanted to just copy and paste some of their language or you want to use some of their images. It's really uh, easy to do so. We'll be working with them as part of the Press Watchdog Coalition. They'll be one of the partners in that, along with, I'm sure you'll know some of the members that we have, because I know that a lot of y'all are paid subscribers and subscribers of all of them. So we're going to have the basics of that. We are not completely done organizing that until Wednesday of next week because we're focused on the election. So we'll keep you all posted. On Wednesday of next week, we will have an announcement and a sign up page with things where you can sign up to make phone calls or do text messages or different kinds of campaigning, whatever you feel comfortable doing in regards to what we're going to be progressing in regards to our pressure campaigns on media. So that is something that we're going to be focused on right after the election. Tuesday night, I want everyone, if you have the time as well, I want everyone to be online and prepared, maybe after 8 p.m. Eastern, if you're able. I want everybody online and prepared, and I'll be making an announcement about this as well, for him to announce that he won, and which is pathetic. And votes won't be done counted. By that point, there's no way. Nevada's going to take a while. That's just one, but he is going to likely announce that he won on Tuesday night. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Now, we're already in contact with different members of the press to ask them to not say the headline being Trump claims victory, because I can see it now. That's a big lie too, because one of the accomplices to the big lie was the press, because they were just repeating his statements. Trump claims victory. Trump says he won. It wasn't like Trump, spreads a big lie and then in it describes exactly what the lie is. So we're already starting to fight back against that narrative. And just to keep everybody in mind, we are in charge of the federal government. Biden is. Trump is not. We were against that on top of everything else. So, in regards to Russian interference, at this point, there's not much more we can do to push back against that disinformation. There's not going to be something that magically pops up from there that's going to be a huge scandal or story, I would assume. But from here, I think we're going to be okay. So again, vote early for Kamala is the hashtag. Spread it on Substack, on X. I know a lot of y'all hate X. I still have 1 million followers on there, so I'm going to use it. I was never going to let them take over the entire platform. That was a strategic decision, because it was like, well, if we don't push back, then why not? And as you saw from my post on Liz Cheney today, they had a big problem with me talking about how she was talking about a firing squad. Some people may differ in regards to what they heard from Trump after listening to him for 8+ years. That's what he meant. That's what he meant. That's my Trump translation. But if you disagree with me on that, that's cool. But if you back up more, he's definitely threatening Cheney, and it's led to more threats against her. And no one should be talking about pointing guns at political opponents' faces or anything like that. I want to give a shout out for rock star Susan, who did 6 hours of phone banking in Michigan yesterday and is doing more today and tomorrow. Thank you, Susan. That is awesome. Every call counts, especially there, especially being local there. So that's awesome. So let's get started on here. So whether you're on Threads, Spoutable, email, text a friend, tell them to do it. Hashtag vote early for Kamala. I'm sure if you have questions about what a hashtag is and whatnot, we have explainers on that. You can Google it as well. It basically is a way to sort through different posts on social media on different platforms, and there's a way to get it trending so that it basically has the same kind of voice in it. And what we do with that is we try to get people to vote. And so that's the basic here is, messages: go out and vote for Kamala, vote early for Kamala if you still have early voting in your state. Today, Vice President Harris is in Atlanta and also in Charlotte, North Carolina. What they're calling it is the Win We Vote, We Win rallies and concerts. Atlanta, the event features remarks from Spike Lee, Victoria Monet, and then has performances by 2 Chainz, Big Tigger, Monica, and Pastor Troy. So that'd be an awesome concert. In Charlotte, this is, I get excited about this one. Charlotte, remarks from Kerry Washington, performances by Brittany Spencer, Khaled, and the Warren Treaty, and John Bon Jovi is on the road. So I got to meet him 20 years ago when he came and played for Carrie Edwards in Raleigh, North Carolina. He is a really great guy. I was surprised at how nice he was. So Governor Tim Walz will be participating in a Canvas kickoff joined by Eva Longoria in Las Vegas. And later he'll be speaking at a GOTV event in Flagstaff, Arizona, and also a rally in Tucson. Doug Emhoff will be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They're doing a El Pueblo Unido event and a GOTV rally, and they're doing a phone bank in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And we talked about this yesterday. Gwen Walz, a rock star on the trail, making her 7th visit to Wisconsin today. She'll volunteer in Wausau and Eau Claire and finish the day in Hudson at a house party. So she is all over the place, really crushing it. In Arizona, let's go state by state real quick. In Arizona, I'm not sure if you all know Danae Gurria. She is the one who plays Michonne on Walking Dead, and Jerry Ryan, who I guess you could know her from Star Trek. They're going to be doing a Fighting for Reproductive Freedom bus tour throughout Arizona. And then I know that some people may not have, there's mixed opinions that because of how Biden was treated, but they're still allies. Pod Save America host Jon Favreau, John Lovett, Tommy Vitor, and Dan Pfeiffer will be on the road with them, helping out and campaigning for Harris, and that's awesome to see. And Dr. Jill Biden will be in Georgia. She'll be in Savannah for Canvas launches and to help get out the vote there. Maryland Governor Wes Moore is going to be heading to Michigan, and he'll be in Flint for Party of the Polls event. AOC, who's been everywhere, is going to be with Rep. Dingell in Ann Arbor for a Get Out the Vote tailgate. And former DNC chair Tom Perez is on the road in Michigan as well. In Nevada, they're doing some Republican-focused events with former national security official for Trump, Olivia Troy. In North Carolina, Anna Navarro is going to Durham for a GOTV event, and DNC chair Jamie Harrison will be in Fayetteville. Also in Lumberton and in Monroe. In Pennsylvania, President Biden's going to be in Scranton for some union events. And former First Lady Michelle Obama is going to be with Alicia Keys in Montgomery County. And so they're going to be throwing a rally there. Former President Clinton's going to be in Erie talking about jobs. He'll also be in Butler County for an event, and he's going to be working with some union folks as well. Josh Shapiro is going to be in Bucks County. Amy Klobuchar is going to be in Pittsburgh. They have Ali Krieger, who is the 2-time World Cup champion and U.S. national team member. She'll be doing things with Penn State College Democrats and doing a tailgate kind of event. Rosie Perez, who's a Puerto Rican actress, is going to be working with different electeds on the road in Pennsylvania. And then a really cool guy, like he's amazing. LeVar Burton is going to be campaigning in Philadelphia as well. And then we head to Wisconsin, which is just all over the place. Ben Wickler, who's one of the best party chairs that I've ever worked with ever. An amazing guy, good friend. he is going to be doing different canvas launches across the state. Tony Evers, the governor, same thing, canvas launches. Lieutenant governor, same thing. They are on the ball. Jennifer Garner is going to be in Waukesha, and so they have a lot of star power there. But the bottom line here is Trump has nothing like this. It's a combination of them not having the star power and him being too egotistical to have any of the spotlight taken away from him. I mean, you look at Michelle Obama doing an event with Alicia Keys, a rally, which is completely separate, in Pennsylvania, versus Bon Jovi doing an event with Kamala Harris, and then you have Rosie Perez over here. Like, it's very strategic. It takes a lot of coordination to do that. Hundreds of staffers, thousands of staffers, sorry, in hundreds of offices across the country. You have a non-existent field game. If you have a chance, check out the Wired article in regards to Trump's ground game. I had a friend that sent me this article that showed people going around in U-Hauls that they're just shoved in and dropped off in random neighborhoods and expected to knock doors and spend at least 30 seconds. I mean, it's really scary stuff that I saw, but you can fake the numbers, you can fake the polls, which you have to ignore at this point. Just ignore the polls. I know it's hard, but just try and ignore the polls. But Trump has nothing compared to this. Like, it would take me about 2 minutes, maybe less, to go over what Trump's doing today. He thinks he's going to win on PR. We're talking about a campaign that with Harris campaign that knocked on, I think, 1.2 million doors last weekend. Millions of phone calls. I mean, it's hard to match this, and it's also hard to pull this. And also, if you look at the gender gap, which has been about 7 to 14%, depending on the state you look at, and you'll see that women are going to save our country, which I'm not surprised about. That is clear right now, especially with the early voting numbers. As my producers remind me, I'm supposed to say this. If you like my work, please become a paid subscriber. You'll help support our new Press Watchdog Coalition, which is free for everybody to join. We do not welcome Trumpers or big liars or anybody like that. There won't be trolls involved with it. We have dozens of people. A lot of them have big Substack pages. They'll all be members of it. We'll have a sign-up page and coalition leaders and details after the election. I'm not sure if you were part of my impeachment task force, which had, like John Leguizamo, Alyssa Milano, Deborah Messing, and people that caliber. One of my favorite things was when we launched it, Newsweek did a piece on this impeachment task force, which basically was pressuring members of Congress to vote for impeachment for Trump in the first impeachment. And they ran my quote on it saying that, the Trump propaganda machine is going to be in overdrive. And once they said that out loud, they looked at the screen and they're like, we just said that on Fox News. Like, what are we doing here? We're just we're making fun of ourselves or whatever. They were trying to trash it, but that just helped us out and helped get the word out. So that's kind of the, fighting that PR battle and using star power mixed with people who are real journalists pushing back against the press. We're going to need that. Remember, we did this around January 6th. I think in December of into January of 2020 into 2021, I had like 1 billion impressions on my Twitter account. I was one of the only people out there investigating and pulling up videos that proved like they invited them. They wanted to be violent, and they have involvement here. And there's been court cases like with Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is not criminal, but we had evidence used in that case as well. So, I mean, it's really, we have a great time. And I'm just getting some notes here. All right. Jennifer Grant, welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right. I'm just looking to see, what do we know about the Lancaster voter fraud case? So you're going to see individual claims of fraud. I think they're going to be careful with their court filings and whatnot. There's got to be proof and evidence, but it kind of backfires. In that case, I think that they extended they extended voting hours due to it. Um, so a lot of that may backfire. They say that people are being denied access. They're going to need proof. Court's not just going to intervene, but there will be, if they're like, they closed down the voting line even though I was in line, like then they'll respond by keeping it open longer for the rest of time. And also on election day, a lot of things happen like that. But we're prepared for anything. I don't know if y'all know Mark Elias. He's one of the best attorneys that's ever existed, especially for the Democratic Party. He is ready for every angle. I've spoken to members of the campaign. They already have draft briefs, draft responses. They are ready from every angle. I won't go further than that, but like I'm very comfortable about what they're doing and who's in charge of that. So again, we're doing a national get out the vote effort right now. Go on your social media, tweet out the hashtag, or I say tweet for everything. What I mean by that is post on your social media, vote early for Kamala. Hashtag vote early for Kamala. That is all day today. We're using that. Again, use it on your social media, use it on your Substack, use it on anything you can. Spread the word. Like and restack this post. Don't forget when you leave here, because that helps spread the word as well. But yeah, Lillian, Brendan, Mark is awesome. He is a person who's worked on campaigns for so long. I don't remember if he was part of our effort. I worked on a campaign in 2006 in Sarasota where we lost to a used car salesman. And I think it was by 340 votes. Somebody can fact check me on that. But yeah, we lost that race, but also voting machines went missing, and there were program challenges. But we had Democrats had won back the House, so it kind of just was like, all right, let's move on, because Speaker Pelosi was taking power at that point, which is pretty awesome. That's about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate your support. Again, the Press Watchdog Coalition, we're going to have friends announced. I know I just mentioned Demcast, but there's going to be other partners that we announce on Wednesday of next week. We want to stay focused on the election until then. We will be pushing back hard on Tuesday night. Okay? I'm working around the clock. Our team's working around the clock. We're on top of this. The campaign's on top of this. All right. I don't go around talking good about campaigns. I'm very critical about campaigns in regards to the strategic network, talking behind the scenes. I'm always critical, but from what I've seen with evidence, it's very clear they're on the ball. They know what they're doing. So we're in the best spot that we could hope to be right now. And especially with Trump changing the conversation. So with his stupid threats against Liz Cheney. Anyways, so that is, will economists, I was going to end it, but then I got this question. Will economist endorsement help Harris at all? I'm sure that endorsements do matter. No matter what Jeff Bezos says, with endorsements don't change people's mind. I've seen people in local elections and also, congressional elections, statewide elections, change their vote based on what a paper says. Oh, I didn't know this fact about this person. I didn't know that this was an adjudicated rapist. I didn't know that this was a person that was, found guilty of fraud or has 34 felonies credited against them. So I think they provide information, and also, if you're going to warn someone about the threat to democracy that somebody poses, then it's I think it's imperative that you also say something about how you need to vote for the person who's righteous and stand up for democracy. I'm as you've seen different people resign from the Post still recently, it's something that I find it ironic, where I've gone against Bezos and Amazon for years. I've been working with unions for decades now. And one of the things, trying to get people unionized in Amazon and protect them and fight for their rights. And he's just one of the worst bosses that's ever existed. So when it comes to this, think about this. How easy is it for someone to write an op-ed and it get published on the front page of Washington Post and it be in defense of that paper for a strategic decision that helped Trump and act like it didn't help Trump? Like, he used it for his own PR where he probably didn't write it, but where he published an op-ed under his name and said, I don't, I would never use this to advance anything, but he used it for his own purposes. And not only that, but um, there were follow-ups from that as well. And anyways, it's that's where I'm going to end it for today. Thank you, Maura. Thank you, BC. I appreciate y'all. Keep your head up. Let's stay in touch. I'm going to do this every day through the election to make sure that I can just connect with y'all, and we do everything we can to push back against um, the madness right now, because that's really what we have. I mean, we have our voice and our power, and if we speak out and there's enough people that do so, then we can make a big difference. We've had times where even it's early in the morning, and I've contacted a producer at CNN to be like, what are you doing with this headline about Tim Walz? And they adjust it. Sometimes they'll provide me evidence and say, oh, this is sorry, like oopsies, off the record, like my bad. And then sometimes it will change and they won't respond to me. But our voice does matter. People are listening, and we need to keep it up. I think that there will be a peaceful revolution in regards to media after this election, and it's up to us to make sure that we never have debates again without there being immediate fact checks. We don't let people go on the air as politicians without immediate fact checks. We have a different system in regards to the truth coming out there. So it really is going to be a fight for truth. And anybody who doesn't want to be a part of it, they should not be able to be on the air at all. So that's one of the angles we'll be heading in regards to the Press Watchdog Coalition. So let's keep on going. We got this. As I'll post this video. You check out everything that Kamala's campaign is doing today and compare it to Trump's, and that'll probably make you feel better. And just keep in mind that it's a long road. We sprint to the finish on Tuesday, but we'll be ready for anything Tuesday night. We won in 2020 with our backs against everything, with COVID, with no door knocking campaigns, and he had the control of the federal government. It is not that way anymore. And there's no January 6th rally that's going to happen in DC. There's going to be fences and security galore on January 6th. There's no one getting that building. Now, of course, the biggest problem we'll have is the MAGA on the inside. That's for later. Anyways, y'all have a great day. Let's talk online. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for your support. I can't believe so many people came out on a Saturday morning, but I do appreciate y'all and everything you do. Keep up the hard work. Everything you do, every post, every text, everything you do on social media, outside of that, talking to people, talking to your neighbors, it matters. Don't let anyone tell you differently. If they tell you that it doesn't matter, that means that it's working. All right? Ignore the haters, ignore the trolls, and keep pushing forward. We can't afford any kind of pause or stopping. It's on us to really make this change. You've got this. Keep it up. Keep doing the work. Trust me. I've been through this so many years. We've got this. Keep on going. Don't get distracted. Get people to vote for Kamala. Make that extra phone call one extra time. And just do what you can. So I appreciate y'all. Tim, thanks for saying that compliment. I appreciate you as well. So anyways, keep on doing what you're doing. Everything you do matters. Don't let anyone tell you different. Oh, well, you're going to say that on Twitter? Yeah, you're going to say that on Twitter, and you're going to get amplified by me, and it's going to be shared by a bunch of people. And so I got your back. Let's do this. Onward.